Divrei Yisraelus. Why the things in here? Okay. Okay, so before we actually start the Siyum and B'Poil, we have a part Divrei Yisraelus. And first of all, we asked all non-American nationalities to leave. It's first of all. Second of all, is no l'chaim. It's a stick on the Kuda. It's a stick on maybe a Balabatch and a Kuda and haRambam, but we see something the Rebbe definitely spoke about. That when the Rebbe made the takana of haRambam, B'chlos, the Rebbe spoke about two things. First of all, Achdus and Yidin, which Achdus and Yidin can happen with any limud. Yes, Shloimer, the Achdus and Yidin was happening already in Chitas, in Tanya, and Chumash. The Rebbe spoke about Achdus between Yidin, and mainly why the Rebbe chose specifically haRambam is because Achdus and Yidin are learning Kol Torah Kula. haRambam is the only sefer that covers Kol Torah Kula. So, Stam, I just want to be ma'oyer the Indian that obviously if I should say bocherim, so missing haRambam is not a thing. Yeah, it doesn't matter what the hour is. But the Yoda Inish Benafshe and every person on his level that we can learn haRambam a lot better. I think it's a pashta zach that somebody who learns haRambam properly every single day of the year is going to come out somebody who uses that his time well and learns haRambam properly every single year for the meshach, a full machshar, once a couple cycles, is going to be a lot more of a yadin, so to speak, in Torah than if he's a chvei, starting just this masechta or just that masechta, going through these halachas. The Rebbe specifically chose haRambam because haRambam is makif, called Torah Kula. It's the only sefer which does that, as the Rebbe always said. I think it's pashat because we see haRambam. It's kedai to be ma'oder. The pashat use your ben azdarim to learn haRambam. Yesh loimer, it's worth it to use two ben azdarim to learn haRambam well. Then you're going to come out with a lot more than if you do haRambam quickly as a halbashah, which you didn't, which means you didn't understand nothing, and you're using the other hour during a break for whatever it is. Think Siyum haRambam, everybody should make some sort of achlata that lefi whatever the level he's learning haRambam now. So we might have to learn it more, clearer, to understand it better, to do it maybe a little less as a bezijot. Besides the fact that Tzera the Rebbe and Hira the Rebbe should be mekuyim mitaych simchan should be done gruntig and not have yetzer zayin, but pashat begashmis the teyeles. Yeah, it's a pashat grab balabatish geret. The teyeles of learning in haRambam k'deboy, there's nothing. It's incomparable. And Yeshloimah, which the Rebbe kind of said that balabatish geret. That's one of the reasons why the Rebbe chose haRambam. So l'chaim is a message on limud haRambam be'echus and kedai achveis. The chavrus you learn it better, listen to shiurim, whatever it is, but to somehow make sure that pashat the haRambam is learned gruntig, kemoish tzarich, and it'll be a big tayalis. First of all, give nachas to the Rebbe, and also be a big tayalis in learning in Yiddish and Luminat Torah B'chlal. L'chaim, give the Rebbe nachas, and the more as there is Hashem Kavayim Nam Machas. Chaim, thank you. Chaim, thank you for your
I was in my name.
You're asking for a bocherim?
Yeah, but haRambam.
The mic?
Yeah. That's it. By the Shuvei. What? A bocherim for Tevches Mimim, a mashpia, whatever you did over there.
You're the MC? Yeah. Where's Lippy? He's not seeing.
I'm Yuchas in this Indian from Rambam, a Neche, grandson of Mullah Butman, who for all these years arranges the Siyum haRambam ha'Ilomi. And we would be honored to have him make for us in 770 by the Student Association, Student Society, my bad. Siyum haRambam ha'Ilomi. We'd like to ask everybody to please rise.
Okay, so you can stay seated for the first minute of my speech until I make the actual siyum. So first of all, Nesim Kavod Lachsanya. So, like all inyanim that are arranged at Tzerich Tzibur, especially inyanim connected with the Rebbe's Erais. So it's a schus for all of those that were connected with being ma'argin this Siyum haRambam. And the mitzvah, the Farsi Mesi mitzvah. So the only one I know that was involved, the only two I know were involved was Libby Baumgarten, who took care of the Ruchnias, and Shneir Kalbach, who took care of the Gashmis. So I want to wish them all of the brachas which are connected, and definitely will serve as a tiner for B'cholam Mitztarech Lahem. It should be Eimid Lahem, B'cholam Mitztarech, the Gashmis of the Ruchnias. I wish them Gam Yachad. I'll make the siyum first, and then let me sign with the perverter. I'm zecher this is probably a haRambam that Rebbe Metlik himself made the siyum from.
Guys, so the main food order is arriving soon. Save room in your stomach.
Okay, for those that would like to rise for the siyum, the time will be now.
Anyone gonna rise with me?
Halacha hey.
Yeah, sure.
The haRambam is Messiah. The haRambam Ilchis Malach Malach Mashiach. So the haRambam is Messiah of a tier description of what's going to happen. What's the world going to look like when Mashiach comes? So the haRambam writes, at that time, there won't be any hunger or war. There won't be any jealousy or competition. The reason is because all of these issues come when there isn't enough for everyone, when there's not enough land or other goods for everyone. So that's when people come to Rav. That's when people come, to Melchama or to Kina between each other. When there's not enough food, there's Rav. But when there's going to be the Teva, Tia Mushpas Harbi, there's going to be a lot of good. So B'meila, there's not going to be any instance market for such things. And all of the delicacies are going to be found as accessible as earth is. The Asik for the whole world is going to be just to know the Eibishter. And therefore, because there's not going to be any outside things, the only thing is going to be Ladasas Hashem. Therefore, Yidden are going to be Big Chachamim, V'yedim Dvarim Astumim. They're going to know hidden things. The Yesigu Das Berim Kefik Keich Adam, and they're going to understand the Das of the Eibishter according to the Keich of a person. Shenemar Kimol Arez Esavaya Kamayim Leyom Mechasim. And just to say a word from the Rebbe on this halacha from the Hadran I was learning. So, I mean, the Rebbe has a lot of inyanim, but one the Kodesh Rebbe explains is that the chiluk between Layeh Kol Eisa Kol Elam El Dasas Hashem Balvad is that the entire world, meaning the world will remain, the world is here. Just the purpose of the world is, and the whole occupation of the world is going to be Ladasas Hashem. But when the Yam is Messiah, Kamayim Leyom Mechasim, that's going to be in such a eifin, Kamayim Leyom Mechasim. It's not just an eifin that the sea has water, but that the only thing which is kentig, the only thing which exists within the Yam is the mayim which are mechasit. So that's going to be an eifin, not that there's going to be a world, and the world is going to be occupied with Dasas Hashem, but the Ein Gezach is designed kentig. The only thing that's going to be visible is going to be a lekos, and the eifin that's hacher from Mitzias Olam, or lekos was hacher, the dugmas Kamayim Leyom Mechasim. Just to be Messiah with a few divrei serious about Limud haRambam. So, the Rebbe always said take it to the Siyum das Chala. So whoever's doing das Chala.
We're asking over here the head ma'agin of the of the student society, Schneider Kalbach, to make us the Aschola, Baruch Hashem.
Oh, are we starting? No, sure, I'll come back. Say for mother percussion, yeah. Blocha Aleph. You say that yesterday is Amina Chokamis Leida Shish Mishal Matrisha in Bumanti Kol Nimsa Kol Nimsa Mishmayim Varetz Mash Benayim Nimsa Elam Amitas Himotzei. Mimi, jetzt voll weiter.
Anyone have a lighter? I need a lighter. 43 counts.
We're not going.
All right, say there. So a part of it says from Lumen Yamam. So first of all, just a couple things I heard from Isaiah about when he was the years he was marrying the Siyum haRambam and the mems right after the Sturm of Lumen Yamam came out. So I'm not sure if it was Mem Vav or Mem Zayin, but after a few years that there was already the Siyum haRambam. So, like all things that happen in a constant oifen, there started to be a little bit of a chalishos in the participation of the Siyum. So there was a whole meeting with the Vada Siyum. Then there was a whole Vada Siyum of what they can do to be ma'ir anash to be mishtatev in the Siyum haRambam. So one of the things that came up, Mazeda suggested, is that we should ask the Rebbe to give a shtatfus for all those which are mishtatev in the Siyum haRambam to give $1. And it was a very strongly debated thing because it's never really been asked before that the Rebbe, people asked the Rebbe he should give $1, that he should give dollars. Usually the Rebbe decided on his own if he wanted to give dollars to certain inyanim. Such a thing that Chassidim should ask the Rebbe that he should give out $1 for something was not a minig makubal at the time. So after much debate, it was decided that they're going to ask the Rebbe, and the Rebbe sent out $6,000. This already, you can see Mazeda saying the story in Gem. The Rebbe sent out $6,000 for the Mishtat via Siyum, and it turned out to be the exact number of dollars that were needed. So we don't, there wasn't much times parallel to such a thing that the Rebbe chose on the Chavivas that the Rebbe had for Limud haRambam and Siyum haRambam. That's one that could have. Second of all, we know, and everyone knows the famous Hergish that Chitas and Yamam are the same. Chitas and Yamam are the same. Whatever the Rebbe wrote in Nigris Kedesh about Chitas also applies to Limud haRambam. But what's interesting is that it's not just the Hergish. If you look every time the Rebbe wrote about Chitas, the thing that the Rebbe was madgish always is that in other words, the whole takeif of the why Chitas was so important and why all of the brachas that the Rebbe associated with Limud Chitas, especially because it's from Takanis of the Fidik Rebbe. So melava from the Rebbe's Takanis. So it's not just the Hergish that we compare Chitas, Chitas the Fidik Rebbe's, Yamam is the Rebbe's, but everything the Rebbe wrote in Igris about Chitas is definitely a different, which is the Gabi Yamam. If the Rebbe himself is miyachis the significance of Chitas to the fact that it's mitakanas chacham erecham yadmor. One other small hergish that I want to share that I noticed when they get to this Indian is that the Rebbe used a very unique lashon when the Rebbe wrote about Chitas. The Rebbe didn't write betach loymid hashleishes shiur makfuim. The Rebbe used an expression betach shomer hashleishes shiur makfuim. Now the lashon shomer is not the usual lashon we find b'chlal b'negiat kumbasei to something you do. We don't use the lashon shomer. Shabbos we use the lashon shmir Shabbos because there's a kedusha which has to be kept, and if you do something which is inappropriate, you're mechal kedushas Shabbos. The Rebbe used the lashon b'negiat the chitas betach shomer hashleishes. You can look in Nigris Kedesh betach shomer hashleishes shur makvuin, which means that there's a certain kedusha and there's a certain alikus which is nimshach, with Limud HaRambam, and by us learning it, we're Shemer that Kedusha. And in Chas v'Shalom, there's the union of Hebek Limud HaRambam, so there's a certain, just like there's Chilul Shabbos, there's especially the Chilul in the Shabbos Takana, Achman Litzlan, and we can nutzen as Avart, for Divas Leiden nicht, for Divas tun nicht. So Mela, you have to understand the significance and the beautiful the Rambam is Negea for uns, Negea for Rebbe, and it's a tzinner for all the Amshachis that the Rebbe gives us, all the Ashpais the Rebbe gives us. I want to just be Messiah with one interesting story that just came to my mind. I heard actually from Rabbi Silman, he was my Mashpia Mesifta, but now he's the Menal of Olater Mesifta. So he said that his father would write, everyone knows the guy with the pipe. So he says, Yichi Bakir Satira. So his father would have a minig that every time he would write to the Rebbe anything, he would always learn Yama before. One time he sat down to write to the Rebbe a list of questions. And halfway through, he chaptech that he didn't learn Yamam yet. So he paused his zettel, sat down and learned Yambam, and then he finished writing the rest of the questions that he needed, and he sent into the zettel to the Rebbe. And when he got back to the Rebbe's Meine, he realized that the Rebbe only responded on the Meine to things that he wrote, that he asked after he already learned Yambam. So you see with the Rebbe that Yamam is definitely a tzinner to receiving all the Rebbe's ashpais, and as Chassidim.
But this person made sure to answer. Only after my hand, I made sure.
Whatever, all the parsha note everyone could say after, but Samaisa Shahaya. So the Nekuda is that we should be miyakert, and the Rebbe only for our schos and but the Rebbe gives us such opportunity. So Mela, so it's us exunt hate, and we should be zeichet to the Malar Etzei Savaya K'mayim Liyam Lechasim.
I saw the news Shamer Rambam, you know what I mean? And you Shomer Shabbat, and you Shamer Rambam.
It's such a good word. Who said? Is it your word? Your house? Yes. You tell it to your Zayda for using it. What? Tell it to your. We said, but you don't listen to this. If you hear it, you'll know why.
Ask the great one and only the man behind the Siyum, the fact that we're calling him melava malka Siyum haRambam, and the one that's been pressuring for the past few weeks that the melava malka should be in honor of the Siyum haRambam. We'd like to ask the future Mullah Butman Rabbi Shalom Rifkin to please share a few words with the crowd. Okay, I'm sorry. Is there Chaim in the house? Arak is not Chaim. At least Chash this, huh? This is better than. What? Chaim. Chaim, v'lebracha, mazel tov tzalom b'saimim. Shkeach tzalom aschilin.
Let's look at all of us.
I would like to share a vert, which is a story. I get to haRambam, that I was able to hear kama v'kama pamim from one of the Chassanim Dinan, Yitzchak Dubov, who's ufrufus today. And he's not here, so I can talk about him. And he's getting married, so now we can't mock him to be maspid. He's a yid which, by him, haRambam is given and is mamash the first Indian that he's mashpia on another yid is Shabbos Tzav Parah. That's the two inyanim. And it's such a nicker and kama v'kama mushpoim that if you want to go, you can go to Eretz Yisrael, to Tel Aviv, and you can look there and you'll see people who are still, whatever. Eventually they also are keeping Shabbos and growing a beard or whatever, but the first Indian is haRambam and Shabbos Tzav. So, when you get to learning haRambam, there's a story of the Rebbe that can help us understand what we're talking about. And that is that in Tavshin Chaf Hey, the Rebbe Tzimchana passed away, and the Rebbe started a project with Zecher Nishmas Rebbe Tzimchana to reprint the Likutei Torah, which means they did a lot of work on it. They added tikkunim and inyanim and maftichas, etc. And it was a project that costed a large amount of money. And the Rebbe announced that the schus would be given to Chassidim to be mishtatif in the printing, sort of on the Rebbe's behalf, for the Rebbe's mother. It was going to be the printing of Zecher Nishmas Rebbe Tzimchana, like from the Rebbe, but the Chassidim are going to have the schus to be mishtatif. And many Chassidim offered that they wanted to be mishtatif. The Pale, the Rebbe chose 10 individuals. Each of them gave, I believe it was that the whole project cost $10,000. Each of them gave $1,000, if I'm not mistaken. And these 10 people were zeichet to be part of the Hatzpasa. And each of the 10 people got 10 copies of the Likutei Torah, and of the 10, one of them with a handwritten inscription by the Rebbe.
10 copies for $1,000.
10 copies, and yes, and one of the copies with the inscription happens to be that my Alter Zayda was one of them, Mordechai Rifkin. So I've seen the sefer. And at some point later, the Rebbe was asked why he chose these people over others, because many Chassidim had offered. And I don't know. This is I in the beginning of the story I quoted B'Shem Eimrei. Any tainas or shaylas, you can go to him. So the Rebbe was asked why he chose these people. And the answer that, according to the story, the Rebbe gave was as follows. The Rebbe said, I chose the people who understood that with their sponsoring this, more than they were giving, they were receiving. Which, of course, is understood when you get to that Indian. It was sponsoring the Likutei Torah for the Rebbe Tzimchana, etc. And this is so true when it comes to learning haRambam. We heard before from Mendel Lerner when you get to, like in his words, Grab Gedet Valabata Sha'isiyas. And also in Edel Gedet Chassidus Sha'isiyas, it's pashut the ability to spend time every day on doing the Rebbe's Indian, the Rebbe's Takana, etc. And therefore, it's not a shiloh of how can I make it the shortest or the easiest. It's pashut every minute that we can spend learning haRambam, you can be miyakir. And Yishloimar, the moment that you're able to learn already from when the night comes in, you already want to chop it in as soon as possible to learn, and so on and so forth. Kol echad yagish benafshay, what he wants. But the nekuda is that we should understand that more than we're giving, we're not doing the Rebbe a favor, we're not doing anyone a favor. More than we're giving, we have the immense schus to be part of this. And not just do we have the immense schus, but if we know about the schus and we have the ability to do this, then it only behooves us that we should spread it and share it with other Yidden as well. There are so many Yidden across the world who are busy with all sorts of limudim, which we're not going to mention here in a Makom Kaddish, this Yemi, that Yemi, and haRambam is nachnish angekommen. So, l'chaim, we should be. Anyway, we should be zeichet to be maschil, to be Messiah, and to be mashpia many other Yidden, to be maschil Messiah, and Baker to be mashpia of zich alein, to learn v'yis darf design in a way that will make the Rebbe happy, and to realize that more than we're giving, we're getting. Chaim.
The Rebbe mentioned.
Okay, thank you very much. Please leave. To the Monin Pashat, that the Rebbe writes, that the Rebbe says that haRambam is a school, it helps. One of the things to bring the Gula Mitzvah Shlema is specifically haRambam for many reasons.
Not least among them, the very fact that at the end of the Rambam Project talks about and describes exactly how it's going to happen, the halachas of the Gula. So one of the biggest reasons to be stark, make a big koch in learning Rambam, which is the only sefer that has all the halachas, even the ones that are in the Ger Lasad Lavai. As you guys probably realized, reading the past 3 days Rambam, so many mitzvahs you see, I can't do this mitzvah, I can't do that mitzvah, and all these mitzvahs, so many of them we're only going to be able to do when we have, once again, the Beis HaMikdash. So this makes so much more stark the banking issue to the Gula, and to really koch in Rambam. This is so important, especially now that we're in the Beis HaMashiach, and the Rebbe is glad going to take us out of Galus. The holy of Kabbalah Pnei Mashiach Tzedekenu is starker through the end of Limud haRambam. So, Chaim D'Rachim. Kemayim layam mechasim malada. Kemayim layam mechasim malada. Kemayim layam mechasim malada. Kemayim layam mechasim malada. Hashem Kamayim Erasim Malare Dayas Hashem Kamayim Erasim Malare Dayas Hashem Kamayim Erasim Malare Dayas Hashem Kamayim Erasim Malare Erasim Kamayim layam mechasim malada. Kamayim layam
We have with us a very, very big guest, one of the greater speakers of the National Melava Malka. We would like to call upon David Susankin to lead the chat with a few words about the Siyum haRambam.
L'chaim, I would like to wish Mazel Tov, first and foremost, to each and every one of us and all of us together for completion of the Rambam and starting the new Rambam, starting the new Maxim. L'chaim. Say in Purim Tashon Lamed Vav, the Rebbe said that everybody should start wearing Rabbeinu Tam's tefillin. The Rebbe said earlier, but the Rebbe said the reason why everybody should wear Rabbeinu Tam's tefillin, because that's the halacha. The halacha is that everybody has to start wearing Rabbeinu Tam's tefillin. Who paskins this? That everybody has to wear side Rabbeinu Tam, side Ashi. Now Rizal makes up psak din that everyone has to wear side Ashi, side Rabbeinu Tam. Why wasn't it the first time until now, and why wasn't it a thing that everybody had to wear until the Rebbe time until now? So Rebbe says because until now people didn't read the papers, and people's Chabad Sheb Nefesh weren't nistame with the Chachmas Chitzonius that there is in the most spread amount way possible. So for these two reasons, and maybe more, the Rebbe says that everybody has to wear Rebbeinu Tam's tefillin. So if you have any cousins or friends or know anybody or being mashpia on anybody, besides for the two most important hashbahs that we spoke about before, about Shas Varach and Tilim and Shir Yemi of Rambam, we should also add in Tefillin the Rebbeinu Tam.
Every Moodag's guy on the side thinks he's the first one to tell you they're big time joke.
I can say I was in Purim.
Chaim, this part of the Fabring is now at its end, and we're gonna move on to the next speaker.
So Purim, I was in. I spent Purim in the hospital, NYU, on Motzei statement, and during the day you get to put on a lot of, aside for all the rest of the mitzvahs of Purim. There's also putting tefillin on people, and there was a Lubavitcher who happened to be in the hospital. Then he had something happen to him, and he was there on Purim. And he didn't have with him not a talis, he didn't have with him tefillin. So here in the morning we put on him tefillin Rashi, so he put on tefillin. But was there the whole day. But later in the day he was doing a little bit better, and he wanted to daven and also to have a Rebbeinu Tam. So I was thinking it's already late in the day. Where do you get the Rebbeinu Tam's tefillin in the hospital? So what do? You borrow from the other patients in the hospital. So you had a Rebbeinu Tam. So I started going around the rooms with people I visited to see who would have the Rebbeinu Tam's tefillin. Baruch Hashem. I found Rebbeinu Tam's tefillin and a talis, and with a atara, very chashuv, and we got to make sure that this year Lubavitcher was able to put on Rebbeinu Tam's tefillin. But yeah, very important the whole Rebbeinu Tam. Yeah, it's hard made the special Gelegenheit to not blow out candles because we don't do that, but. No, it's light candles. Rambam, 43 years of 43 cycles of Rambam.
You know that it's not that you need to be the Balshantim, also. So there's a nice Rabbi Kamarski is always having his own stark.
Amen.
So he went to his Bukhar, part of his job is traveling a lot. And he went around and he traveled to some place, I forgot what the place is called. It's printed in Liquid Minus, you could check it. And
it is printed.
We weren't
scared to give it in. It was like printed.
Yeah, it's printed.
There's an announcement that whoever has minus, they're printing the fourth millennium very soon.
It's also true.
It's short on minus because they use some of
Please give in all your minus to Mendel Levinson, Donomovsky, Hulu. Yeah, continue.
So the point is, at some point there was a birthday cake. I think it was for Yudalef Nissen. It was a chasana, and they had a birthday cake for Yudalef Nissen, and he wrote in the duch that there was candles on the birthday cake. So the Rebbe didn't comment anything about the fact that it was a birthday cake, because obviously there's nothing wrong with a birthday cake. But Adarabah, it's part of Motzei Shabbos to have birthday cakes. The Rebbe noted about the fact that there were candles. The Rebbe said that it's a chash chelav. Chelav.
Yeah, but not these. I would like to bring out that I checked for the hechsher on these candles, and there was no hechsher. I finished talking.
What did you say? Say it again.
Okay, I could say it again.
Anyone eats the chal, that's
a something. Now it's on me eating some mango.
I feel like whatever happens, any mitzvah anyone says, everyone's like, it's time to get Rambam.
By the way,
we say president?
Yeah. Kedusha.
What do we hold up?
the candles.
What am I?
We literally just took two random candles off the shelf.
Yes.
Take a camera, put on YouTube. All right.
Melech HaMashiach li'elam va'ed ay 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 Adinenu merinu verabenu Melech HaMoshiach li'elam va'ed. Ay 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 ay. Ay 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 ay. Adinenu merinu verabenu Melech HaMoshiach li'elam va'ed. Adinenu merinu verabenu Melech HaMoshiach li'elam va'ed. Ay 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 ay. Ay 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 ay. Adinenu merinu verabenu Melech HaMoshiach li'elam va'ed. Adinenu merinu verabenu Melech HaMoshiach li'elam va'ed. Zaman. Chachka.
Put on his head. Charles Freeman, would you like to adjust the back?
I didn't say. I don't mind. You don't mind.
Make something up.
David, what today? I don't know how to think something. What? I don't know. Wait a second. I have to get on. David, what should I speak about? What did I chazir today that I like? What did I speak about today? Yeah. Today, I wanted to say something. I don't know what to say. Yeah.
Hey, here. That's all you can pour it here.
What can you say? So far.
Okay.
So, very good. I want to make a special mention for Shazam Karabach. Thank you very much for arranging the Siyum. We can't. No words. This is literally Hashem should bench you forever and ever. All brachas b'meheru v'yameinu mamash. This is it means a lot to the bocherim, and it's very. Anyways, so I'll say the background where I know the story from. I was on the bus, the oil bus, just recently, and they were playing a living Torah over there. And it's like an old living Torah, so it has the Sichal, the Thomas moment. Yeah, the one in the print house, exactly. And Thomas moment, eye to eye, and then it turns to the Mayan counter. So apparently it's living Torah from this kufa, perhaps, because it features a story I know. It's like when the oil still had the cookies by the corner, before they made the breakthrough. It's like, let's not forget. What? Yeah, the cookie boxes. Anyways, so exactly. So in the video, it features Freddie Hager. Freddie Hager was a businessman from England. Apparently, since he had a lot of correspondence with the Rebbe, and he says the video over there. So I guess I heard the story firsthand because I heard it from the video. I saw it in the video, Pashit. And I like saying that. I heard the story firsthand from the person in the video. I'm saying from the person in the video. Anyways, so he was in a business trip to New York around this time of the year, around the early first days of Nisan. Somewhere in the beginning of Nisan, and he was on that day. Basically, he was leaving back to England. He was in Manhattan, had a meeting in Flatbush, and then was going to go to the airport from Flatbush, and someone was going to take him to the airport. Now he's mocked in that there was no cell phones those days, so he didn't no one was able to reach him if he wasn't in the house or in the office. Anyways, so he's taking the D train from yes, we take the D train to Messiah. Hashtag Lower East Side. From Manhattan down to Flatbush, and it stops in Atlantic Center. And Bashachar Pratis, there was a very big stop, but it didn't continue going. So Yichabtzich is around 3 p.m. I should run over to the 3 train, run to Kornheis 770. I'll see the Rebbe for a few minutes before I have to run to Flatbush to see the Rebbe by Mincha, to see the Rebbe and back to Gefahren. So he runs out and goes into the train to Kornheis, and also was delayed. The Poyel, he actually comes here 3:20. He came with him to say, so he missed the Rebbe. Missed the walk into Za'al for Mincha. So he waits. Apparently, he waits around, and after Mincha, the Rebbe crossed back over into the Rebbe's office. And the way he describes it as the Rebbe's walking with label Groner, and the Rebbe didn't look at him, but he was standing over there, so he saw the Rebbe, and the Rebbe basically points to him and tells label, "Oh, he's here to pick up the matzahs for England." He's here for the matzahs. Either they walk to the Rebbe's office, and then a label comes out. That's something. Basically, label runs him where were you looking for the entire day? He didn't There's no way of him. It didn't reach him basically, and he hopped himself to run into 770. So it was a master. I'm saying the Rebbe clearly knew this, and the label's we had matzahs for you to take to England. We were looking for the entire day. Where were you? And they gave the matzahs to give to England. The Rebbe's matzahs. So he said it just became from a regular business trip. Now it became a shluchos. He was Rebbe's shliach.
I need a small package to take into
Yeah. Well,
everyone's running on WhatsApp. Yeah, but I want to have room for a small package.
Exactly. Yeah. So he became a shliach now. Now his whole trip transformed to being a shluchos, bringing the Rebbe's matzahs to England. Yeah. Since I have the mic, I'll chazar ma'aseh. So this, I like chazing as like a sicha or so the Rebbe. This story is like a story of the shliach. I'm saying it's also a legitimate ma'aseh. So I go to release time with a few bocherim. We go to Brighton Beach. I go with the bocher Mendel Levitansky. He's sitting here with us. And the story is that a few years ago. You want to say the story? Should I say it? Anyways, today I was with a colleague David Sunken and Motzei Shabbos. He went to him Shabbos to Patchag, so where David was David Shluchim, and so I repeated this ma'aseh by the kiddush to the guys over there, and they they enjoy the story apparently because I'm saying it's a very interesting ma'aseh. Anyway, the story goes that Rabbi Levitansky Shliach and Sumi will have a lot of Hatzlacha in his Avodas HaKodesh in Mesilas Nefesh. Apparently still there. Our national just featured pictures from Purim. What? Huh? Purim was there. Fine. Purim was there? Yeah. So apparently printing things was very cheap for him, very convenient. So a lot of shluchim, a lot of people asked him he has a print shop in the city, to print things for them, and he sends it to them. It's different schools in the different shluchim have schools, they have curriculums, and he prints it for them, amongst other things. So one time, I'm saying Geisha workers in the store, one of the Geisha workers, a woman, she decided to take a peek into the curriculum of the she was printing a bunch of books. At that time, we're learning about davening, a bunch of brachas. So a lot of brachas, we say brachas in the morning, thank Hashem for everything, before we eat and after we eat, and every single food, and a bracha for going to the bathroom. She was like, "What's going on over there?" You fake? Like she mentioned to her Rebbe a little mockingly, like I don't know, in Russian it wasn't such a good Russian. Like, what's going on over here? You're saying a bracha on like a bathroom. Was like, I guess no. She didn't understand. She didn't have. So Rabbi Tansky turned around, like, what do you mean? The Esra, we should say it, thank Hashem for every single, Akol Neshima to Halal Yudke, yeah? Sikha of, when did Rebbe mention Yudal Fissin? Which Rabbangan? Hafshin Chav Beis. The first Rabbangan Yudal Fissin, the Rebbe speaks about this. No. Akol Neshima, you have to thank the Eibishter. We don't say Halal, even though we have to thank Hashem, but we don't say Halal, like we don't say Halal every single day. Anyways, so we're saying, but we thank Hashem for every single moment we have. The Poyal, we only thank Hashem for, and the bathroom is a very valuable. It's our body, the way it works. It's a very it's a meir de kazach. You have to thank Hashem for it. Okay, I guess she got it or she took it, and apparently next year the war broke out. That should stop soon. L'chaim l'bracha. L'chaim. Right now, what? The year didn't have to be saved, and she her apparently mentally fix me this. Her whole block was destroyed, something to the extent that a lot of the area over there was destroyed, and she, mentioned to Rabbi Latansky, like, now I appreciate every single moment I have alive. It means a lot to me. So, As was? Mit der Yacht. Thank very much about going over there and the mitzvahs.
What's the problem? Asking you.
Everything is recorded and
We're supposed to have it?
Yeah. David, did you write this? Yeah.
Zam.
Everyone obviously learned today's Rambam. They should go through Kol Terakol and learn the Kavod. No, it's
Every place, every time.
No, it's a short list of interesting mitzvahs that the Rambam chose for very interesting reasons to put in seemingly random sets of halachas that have interesting connection to that set of halachas. So I'm just going to list the mitzvahs, and you're going to have to guess which, not guess, obviously from the learning of today's Rambam, you'll know which set of halachas.
Guys, it's by raise of hands only. There's no calling out.
Yeah, okay, so we'll just do it quickly, okay? So first one, okay, list.
I know.
List.
We need absolute quiet for the game to work out.
No, just call out. Shlo yikach shevet levi chilek bebiza. Which set of halachas does Rambam put in? Shlo yikach shevet levi chilek bebiza. No one learned Rambam today.
Sanhedrin? Is it Sanhedrin?
Oh, yeah. No.
Sanhedrin,
It's Zroim, but it's not Matasanim. That's a sefer. That's not halachas. Which halachas?
Shemitah v'Yevel.
Shemitah v'Yevel. There you go. One point. Okay. Oh no, you have to explain why, because you got the answer.
It didn't say that in today's Rambam.
Okay, next one is like
it
this.
has to do with the fact that by Yevel and Shemitah there's Gula Laretz.
Okay, next one goes like this. Lisper kol ish v'ish shiva shavuos. Very good. Why?
Why? Because it's
Carbon Aimer. Very good. Connection to Carbon Aimer. Okay. The next one's the easy one. Lehirois es Panei Hashem. Chagiga. Why? Fine. Okay. Lahafrish Meiser Behema. That's the reason that I'm says today also. What's the reason? Today also. Very good. Okay. Shaloi lachmoid. No. I have no idea. You got it over there. No. What? Yeah. Is that the consensus? Gneva? Yeah.
Maybe we don't remember.
No. You only heard the question. Okay, the next one's like this. Last is Micah.
Okay, now it goes like this. Shaloi loser acher hira leiv riya soinaim. Licht over melach sefer sheni latzmoy. Sefer not malachim. Okay, shaloi lehonis b'sher anisko.
It's in Macholos Asuris. It's Macholos Asuris.
No, it's not. It's not. It's
No, it's
Yes,
Shaloi likach oim al habonim.
I'll follow at the end. No, it's not. It's the end of something. What is it?
Shita, very good. Why? Okay, here we go. Liftois b'chayr haben ve'losis pedioni lakoyin. There's no hilchos matnos. Very good, very good. Why? Bocherim, very good. Hilchos bocherim. Say that, fine. Okay. Shlo yade ish ade isha. Lo hichiach.
No. I don't know. What is it?
Yeah. Lo hichiach. Yes, I'll stay. Okay. Here we go. Shaloi la kalol adam shar b'nei Yisrael aksherim.
It is Sanhedrin because it's Bamshach to the being Makalo and Elsie.
Okay, shaloi la hachis machashif. Shaloi la hachis machashif. No, not avodah zarah. Stop. Shaloi achsim shar b'dishay. It's a difficult one. Shaloi no, not kilayim. Shaloi achsim shar b'dishay.
Is it connected with malacha?
Schiros, very good. Shaloi yoyna b'dvarim. Hilchos mechira, very good. Why?
Oh, because it's part of the knows.
Okay. Lifroik in misha nichshal b'derech. No. What? Lifroik in misha nichshal b'derech. Anybody?
Oh my gosh.
No. You know what? It's in the same set of halachas as Litway Nimoy.
No, thank you very much.
It's a hint. No, nobody. This one I actually remember. Yeah, you can't cheat.
You can't see the white says.
Nobody knows. I'll tell you.
What is it?
It's an ilchus ritzech shmiras nefesh. And the Rambam actually at the end of the halachis, where he discusses the mitzvah, says that if you're not going to help him, when he says to even help a Rasha, he says if you're not going to help him, if he's in the desert, he's going to stay in the desert because he's bol al mamoinoi, and then people are going to come and attack him. So Pasha the Eibush Chasim. Okay, shlo yachshel tamim bedavar. Yachshel tamim bedavar.
Same set of halachas.
Shlo yachshel tamim bedavar. Ritzech shmeis nefesh.
What's Pshat Tamim?
What's Pshat Tamim, Simcha?
I was wondering. I was reading today.
Tamim and Nikla.
Okay, this one everyone call out together. Lahakel asa'am b'chag asugos mitzvah shmita. No, why?
Because that's where it
happened.
L'yira me'ov ve'im. Shlo lo hitzef ala Torah.
No, it's actually.
Lizker mashas lanu amalek.
It's like in a funny place. Where is it? Which halachis?
Okay, I think we're almost done. Shlo labid var mishnikra shmei alein. No.
From the beginning, I was not.
What's right in the beginning? There's no such set of halachas called right in the beginning.
No way.
You said that later.
Thank you. And
That's what I said.
But you didn't know the name.
I think this is the last one. Shelo ilishkein beretz Mitzrayim.
It's the end over there. Yeah,
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, everyone, for coming.
Label.
We have a lot of food.
One more. Shalai Azif Alevi Milasamcha Velitan Le Matnoisov. The regal.
What? What does it say again?
Oh, maybe, I don't know.
No.
We did last week's Micah? We did last week's Micah? Okay, very good. Say that. Done. Okay, Simcha, I'm done.
Okay.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Very nice.
Play the video from like what is it that Mashkis had in like number 14 or something from Rambam by
And they have a...
Thank you very much.
Schneier.